Hello there, viewers. I'm the Knight of Arcane, and if I got this out on the correct day, today is the season 3 finale of The Mandalorian. So today, I'm going to do something I think is pretty cool. About a month ago, we got the third episode of Season 2 of Helluva Boss. And while I had nothing in time for that, since about a week to prepare, and already had other plans, do have something in time with the Mandalorian, and decided to draw the main 4 characters of Helluva Boss as Mandalorians. Mandalorians have been one of my favorite factions / groups in Star Wars for a long time, way before even the Mandalorian, existed. And it was a fun challenge to work with them in Helluva Boss. Anyways, let's see our Helluva Mandalorian, shall we? The galaxy is a vast place, and full of many different planets, creatures, and species. From users that use the Force, like the Jedi and the Sith, to daring pilots for smuggling and racing, and even those that would kill and bring in targets for the right price. Bounty hunters. Some of the best bounty hunters seen in the galaxy are the Mandalorians, a fierce warrior people with a proud heritage going back for centuries, but were divided over the years and now spread out across the galaxy. And yet they still thrive, and many people have claimed to see one in passing, and then tell the canteen the great stories and feats they saw them do. This group, though, not so much. I first heard of this group while enjoying Bon Eve on Flauzair 15. The festival there was exquisite, and handled so well by the droids there. However, I soon started to hear screams of terror, as apparently some circus droids started to malfunction. The planet was having a few glitching droids at the time, and it was starting to get worse and more dangerous. They thought they were lucky when a second, smaller group of Mandalorians showed up in their system to look into this. They were not. Not only were they unable to figure out anything, but their leader, apparently named Blitz, though I also heard versions where he has an O at the end, and that he claims the O is silent, got into a firefight with a circus droid. Quite literally, the entire festival grounds were burned down. I got a small look at him at the time. His helmet had multiple horns on it, along with horn-like markings painted on it too. And once the group was fired and sent off-world, it turned out he took a few things with him, including some credits, some priceless items, and the burnt remains of the droid he fought. While Flauzair 15 had its droid problem, ironically, it was solved by 2 other Mandalorians. This droid came off-world and had other problems. It turns out Blitz had some history with the droid's manufacturer, and a lot of beef as he started to fight it while his team dealt with the other malfunctioning circus droids. Overall, a Bon Eve I shan't forget. I started to look a little more into this group, and learned a lot more while on a cantina jump on Corellia. They seem to be a group of 4 that calls themselves the Fiends of Concordia. I couldn't find confirmation that any of them came from Mandalore's moon, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Apparently, the whole group, for the most part, were from other Mandalorian clans and groups, but either left or kicked out of their old groups before coming together as the Fiends. Though some other patrons I've found have called them the Imps of Bounty Hunting. But it was also on Corellia that I learned a bit more about another member of this group, Moxie. No idea if it's his real name or code name. It's the group's weapons expert and sniper. His skill is quite impressive, though nowhere near the levels of the bounty hunters Aura Thing and Fennec Shand, or the elite clone snipers of Sev and Crosshairs. But anyways, his family actually left Mandalore way before even the Clone Wars, and set up a criminal empire on Nar Shaddaa. Years go by, and they become quite the gang on the planet, and start to do jobs off-world. One job apparently went bad, and Moxie gets locked up, where he shares a cell with Blitz. They somehow break out, and start their little group, and here we are now. Apparently, even though he's a bounty hunter, and will kill if need to, or hired to, Moxie seems to be against killing those with families, and goes out of his way to avoid unnecessary kills outside of his targets. Though his track record seems to be against him, since he's accidentally killed more people than are accidentally killed during a riot race. Or a pod race, come to think of it. Anyways, no idea what might be going on with his old clan on Nar Shaddaa at the moment. But he was able to snag himself a beautiful wife. I assume, since she's also a Mandalorian, and few have actually seen her without her helmet. And lived. While catching a race on Serrohanis, I got some information on the third member of this Mandalorian group, Millie. Millie was actually from a family of farmers. Something that shouldn't be surprising, since every civilization needs to farm and sustain itself. But it's still surprising to hear of Mandalorian farmers, am I right? Anyways, once she was old enough, Millie left her home to travel the galaxy, and while on Nal Hutta, got into a fight with some Gamorrean guards. Despite her small size, she was able to beat them all in combat. Even took the head guard's axe as her own. This angered the hut that owned the guards at first, but she soon became impressed with Millie's skills, and hired her to do some jobs for her. After one of her jobs, she ran into Moxie at a cantina, and started to talk. They hit it off, and after helping Moxie out of a cantina fight that occurred, was offered a position on their team by Blitz. Apparently, Millie is quite ruthless in dispatching her targets, and doesn't seem to care if they're innocent or not. If the client is paying the right price, she'll kill a person easily. However, these different views didn't stop her and Moxie's relationship from flourishing, and then leading to the two getting married. They're apparently really sweet together, partially comboed with the fact she will easily eviscerate anyone that harms her husband, verbally or physically, with not a single way to find their bodies afterwards. Like she did to an outpost of an Imperial warlord that captured Moxie and Blitz in the hopes of something. I don't know. Everyone in that base is dead anyway. Can't get anything from those corpses. Just a quick reminder, we have a Patreon set up as a way to help support the channel, and all the content I produce on here and other sites. As a patron, you get access to weekly polls, early access to content, and a plethora of monthly art rewards, starting with character headshots. Being a patron also helps us reach our Patreon video goals, so, if you can, donate to help us reach them. Every little bit helps. Anyways, let's get back to the Mandos. The final member of this team I actually got to talk to over a drink on Ratakak. Funnily enough. Her name is Luna, and she's a Mandalorian foundling, like the ones that make up some of the members of the Children of the Watch. Blitz found her while she was on the run in the lower levels of Coruscant, having ran from what could vaguely be called an orphanage in the lower levels, and living on the streets most of her young adult life. He saw something in her. Some sort of potential, or maybe even himself in her, and adopted her into his Mandalorian clan. He then worked to train her to become a fierce warrior, something she didn't really need training with, based on what I saw when she destroyed a guy that tried to flirt with her at the cantina. She heard of a few other Mandalorian clans and groups that used wolf imagery, and decided to base her armor's colors and symbols off the animal also, to relate back to when she was a lone wolf on the streets of the lower levels. Our talk led to me learning some more about her adoptive father, jobs the Fiends took that both succeeded and completely failed, and a few other Mandalorian clans they've had the pleasure and displeasure of crossing paths with, mainly far in the Outer Rim. Overall, Luna was quite informative to me, and I found it pretty funny when Blitz came in and tried to be all gushy with his foundling daughter, with Luna being all cold as he acted like that while they left. Anyways, I could use a drink, and you better be ordering one here too. After the stories I just told you, I say 10 drinks should be fair, no? Can't just have my information be cheap, you know? And that was our Helluva Boss Mandalorians, and our first Mandalorians on the channel. I hope to do some more, especially since Star Wars Day is coming up. So while you wait for whatever I release then, check out my other videos, which include stands, alien fusions, and dragons. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like, and tell me what you thought of these 4 in the comments, along with anything else I should turn into Mandalorians, or should do with Star Wars, Helluva Boss, and even Hazbin Hotel. And if you want to see more of these videos in the future, subscribe to become a part of our little arcane town, as it continues to grow to 500 subs, and hopefully beyond. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.